Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to create a graph and format it. Okay, so in here I have this first of all, I'm going to create a pie chart. Okay, so for that I don't need two. I just want to get one of this column so that it will be easy to show in because I'm not doing a comparison. I just want to see the allocation of money or the total money paid distribution to these districts here in Jiwaka province. Okay, so I'll go back to my pivot table, and then I'm going to go to analyze pivot table, get the field list, and I'm going to pull out the amount, one of them. So I'll pull out the total enrollment. I'll remove it. I'll just leave the total money paid and the district. So now I have two one column, so that is easy for me to create a pie chart for it. So I'll select the pivot table. I'll go to pivot table and pivot chart. So now I will go to my pie chart and I'm going to click OK. So now my pie chart is inserted. Okay, but it's very basic. It doesn't show the percentage. It doesn't show when I click on it, you can see the value and the percent, but it's not showing. Okay, so once the chart is inserted, you click on it, and then you're going to go to design, and you'll see that the design and the format, they are contextual tabs. Okay, they are headed here because I have selected the chart. So if I come out of the chart, you'll see that there's no format and there's no design. So when I come back to here and select it, the design and the format appears. So just pay attention to that. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to format a pie chart, and then I'm going to switch, and I'm going to do a column. Okay, so column and pie are the most common chart types that you will come across or in most presentations. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to change the color. Okay, the color here, pay attention to the color here. Your color scheme is based on your design. Okay, that Excel theme. If I want to change the color scheme and I want another color, this is not my color choice, then I'm going to go to page layout and I'm going to change the color scheme. Okay, so colors. So here I'm going to change. So I'm going to change, if I want the orange one, I'm going to change this. So you can see the color scheme. So I'll just go for orange, green, or I can make a pink. So you can see the color change. So I'm going to change to orange. That's what color that I would prefer. And now when you come back to your design, you'll see that your color scheme for your graph has changed because I've changed the theme. So pay attention to that. Whenever you come here and, for example, you don't want this color, the greenish color, or the color set that is available, then always go back to page layout and choose your color or your theme. Okay, so if you change the theme, then it will change. So your theme and your color choice affects the color of your graph. So pay attention to that. So that's the first thing. Now, second thing that we need to do is I've chosen my color theme. So I go back to my design and then the quick layouts. Okay, so I'm going to look at this and say, okay, I'm going to get the quick layout and see which layout will be okay for me. So this one looks okay, this one looks okay, but I want the percentage to be inside, so this looks okay. Now once I have chosen the layout, then the style. So I'm going to go for which styles I want. Okay, so at this moment I'm not doing any serious formatting yet. I think this one looks okay to me because it's nice colored and etc. So I'll select that, and then now I'm going to expand this a little bit. Now what am I going to add? So at this moment there's nothing here, so what I'm going to do is you go to chart element here, and then you select whether you want to put. So at this moment there's chart title, there's nothing, so I'm going to put it at the top. So I need a chart title at the top, so above the chart, so I'll put that, and now you can see the total here. So I will say this chart title here is going to be I'll undo, and I'll now put in my chart title, and that title click in there, and now I'm going to add the chart title, and that title will be fees distribution by district. Okay, so that will be my title. Now I'm going to move this to the center. I'm going to move this and I'm going to push it to the center. Okay, so now my chart title is in. What else can I add? Data label. So if you look at it, data labels, you'll see that at the moment it's at the center level. So if I want to put it outside, or I'll put it outside, you can see on left, or call out. I think call out looks okay, but best fit is okay too, so I'll go for best fit. And now you will see that it's right inside the graph or the pie. And then I'm going to go for legends, where I want to put the legends, where I can want to put it at the side or at the bottom or side. Okay, I think I just leave the legends. I don't want to put the legend. This one looks okay for me. And then next is your data labels. Okay, so if we look at more data label options, at this moment it now goes to this data label options here. So now I put the category there, okay, but I want to put the value as well. So if someone says this is 19%, but what is the value, then I'm going to put the value. So I check it, and then you can see that Jimmy is 10%, and the value is also reflected in there. Okay, so I'll take that, and now I can also see the number. So the category number is in general, so you can now change it to currency. Okay, no, I don't want that because that's the percentage, so I'll go for percentage because that's the percentage. And then decimal places, no, I don't want the decimal places, so I'll just leave it as 0. Okay, and then now what else? Okay, so now I've got my what in already. Now the other one is the explosion. Okay, so I go to settings here, and then what color I want, I can change it to a different color if I want to. Okay, now I'll just undo that. Okay, now I'll go back to the data selected here, and when I select on the what here, you'll see that where it says series options, you see the point explosion. Okay, so if I want now it's at 0, so it's cramped up, but if I increase it, you'll see that it start to split. Okay, now you can split it. You can split the chart. You select the specific series, and then you start splitting it. That is by the point explosion. So If I select this one, it's at 6%, so you can see how it's been moved. Okay, so at this moment this is at 0, so I can increase to push it up a bit, and then I can also choose again, and I can now increase that, and angle will now specify how it will you can twist the angle around to get exactly the way you want. And this one looks okay to me. And then you can see the color, you can change the preset, or you can even create the 3D format. I can say, okay, I'm going to change this one to this one, so you can see the whole so you can see the 3D level, so you can create something like this. Okay, so now that is done, and it's exploded the way I want, the size. You can see the height, rotation, and then the line. So I think the most important ones are the explosion, pie explosion, and then under series options, and then effects options, you specify what kind of like effect you want to have, and then you have the fill and line, specify the solid line or no line. Okay, automatic, so you can specify, and the gradient as well, what kind of transparency level as well, so brightness level as well. So those are the data series, so you'll see those options in here, right here. Okay, chart elements, this is where once you select the data or the chart, you get this one. This one will have the styles, so you can get the different styles, exactly the style that you want. Okay, this one looks okay, but that's the same thing as the styles at the top, so I'll go back to where I was. But if you want to add the chart elements, then this is where the chart elements are. You can even get that from the top as well, but in most cases you'll get it from here. And then you can see the legends, where you want to place the legends, but otherwise legends is not needed at this moment, and this one will do. So that's how you specify the, and then you can specify the background color. Go home, and then I can say, oh, I don't want that background, I just want it to be a clear background of, say, that one looks okay. So that's my chart. And finally, when you have this thing, you may have things like this, so I'll just go there and hide all the fill buttons like that, and that gives you a very nice looking graph. This one looks good. I'll just copy this, and if I want to pop it in a PowerPoint, I can go and then get a new PowerPoint, new slide, and in that slide I will now delete this one, get a slide like this, then I'll pop it as a picture, and that is my slide, that is my graph ready to go in a PowerPoint slide. And then you can do a presentation, and there you go. So that is how you format a pie chart or pie graph. Now I'll show you, if you are not satisfied with this, I said, oh, this pie chart doesn't make any, it's not what I want, you can always select the design, and then you can go to change data type. So I'll just go back and say, okay, I'm not interested in pie, I'll go back to bar graph, okay, or line graph or column graph. So I'll just get a column graph. This one looks okay, and then the formatting will remain, but the chart will change automatically to the if you want to change the chart type. So that's a cool thing, and I don't want the name of this one, so I'll just remove this. And in this chart, I think we can not show the we cannot remove the data labels, and that one looks good, okay, because you can see it. But if you want to put the data label, you can put it back. I think that looks good. And if you want to display the table at the bottom, you can put the table at the bottom like that, and that looks much better. I'll just click here, I'll go back to my home, I'll bold it and change it to a little bit, maybe 12. That looks much better. And yeah, so that looks, but if I can change the values, because this one is just so I can grid line, so format access, and now the maximum value is 0, so I'll just put it down to say 100,000. That's going to be the minimum value. So I'll say okay, and then it will start from 100,000, 200, 300,000, and you can see it's going up, not from 0, but it's starting at, and then you can set the major unit. It's set at, so you can set major unit at 100,000. Okay, so 100,000 will do, and now you will see that your major unit or the minor unit is starting at so made minor format axis, and that's where you get your access formatted. And I'm not starting at 0, I'm just putting it 100,000, 200,000, and then up after level. So you can set those values, and you can also set the labels if you want to, etc. But right mouse click, format access, that's where you get your mean values or units major or minor, so that you don't put too much figure in here, so it's easy to follow. Okay, and also if you want to change this one here, you can right mouse click right here at the table, and then you can also specify the specific table here, and then you can make it to red if you want it. So you can change the color to blue or some other colors that you want. So I'll just leave it at black and then bold, and there it is. So that's how you when you are in your chart, each of the chart elements you can actually select. Like this one here, that's a chart heading. If I want to change it, I can select on it. This is the access label, so you can format this one, right mouse click, and then you can even go in here, right here, and you can now the series, and you can even format that as well. Okay, so if I want to format that data series, you can see instead of normal box, if I want to go into a cylinder, I want to do a full cone, you can see how you can check the shape and the gaps as well in between, gap depth. Okay, pyramid, puzzle curve, cone. So you can do a lot of things with this one. And even if I want to change this color to a different scheme, I can format this. I don't like the what, I'll make red. Okay, I can do it, provided that you select each of the chart elements. And now I've this one looks much better. I can now copy that and then I can fire it into my PowerPoint. So there goes my, this is, I just set this one to a lighter color, and then that is my graph. Okay, so that's my that's the formatted graph, my column graph, and this is my pie graph. So the point I'm trying to explain here is, once you create the chart, then you can always go back, design, and change the data type depending on where you want to put it. Okay, and you can format. Okay, you can format exactly what you want. But when you are in the design, make sure that each of them is selectable. Okay, so you can select all the chart elements are there. You can select this one, you can select the series, you can select the table at the bottom, and anything that you had is selectable. And then you right mouse click, and then you format and float area. So at this moment my color is white, I can send it to green if I want to. So that is how you format your chart. And once you want to present it right in Excel, always go to view, remove the grid line and the formula bar, and that gives you a nice white background. And then you can even hide or collapse the ribbon, and that makes a nice graph, so that when you are presenting like this table, like this graph, and you got a spreadsheet to present straight onto the screen, then make sure you go and do those changes so that your screen does not look cluttered or with so many things, so that your presentation will look good. But otherwise, you copy, put it in your PowerPoint, and that will do. And once you are finished, you can always go back to view, and then check the grid line, check the formula, and then double click to any of the tabs to activate the ribbon area, and you are back to your normal Excel window, or the layout, or the look of it. I hope this video is useful, and by now you will be able to format your graph exactly the way you want it.